Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Patreon show where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I'm joined here with Sharon. We're gonna go through our 16th episode as I try not to choke here. Hang on. Oh my goodness, sorry about that, y'all. Man, that hurt. How are you doing, Sharon?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Trying not to die.
Yeah, I got some water here too. It's just that time of year. Everything gets really dry and you're just like,
Especially down here. I don't know what's going on. It's just allergies have been abnormally high. Like last weekend, I cooked a whole bunch of brisket and turkeys and stuff for a church event. And I was like dying just from being outside. It was weird. I don't know. Anyways, how have you been?
good. How about you?
Good. It's been a little bit crazy recently. Had some different the little developments with some projects and stuff like that. But yeah, fun stuff.
Nice.
Fun stuff.
Nice.
So tonight, guys and gals, we are gonna squirrel. I think that seems to be our style. It's kind of what we do. We're gonna dig into the Ingersoll Lockwood website first. We're gonna show you guys some very interesting stuff real quick. Sharon, we have a couple other folks who are digging into this with us and getting feedback and whatnot. And when you see this, thank you for you know who you are, and thank you for helping out with that. It means the world to us. And yeah, we'll get into a whole bunch of other stuff towards the end of this. I'm going to show you guys a video that you're going to need to go watch, some homework. And I think you'll find it very, very fascinating. So, anyways, let's jump right in, shall we?
Absolutely.
If the buttons will work.
That's all right. So
There
what
it
happened
is.
here is I've been following Ingersoll Lockwood since 2020. So there's kind of like this whole, what is this about? And people are telling these things. And so it was like coming soon was a website and this and that. And so we're going to go into some archive stuff that, because I printed off a bunch of stuff, but today's Ingersoll Lockwood has new stuff.
It does every day. It seems like it does multiple times a day.
Right. Now
There's
in the
some rabbit over here, and there's a rabbit over here, and anyways, keep going. Sorry.
so in the past, the site would change, every so often. And it wasn't, but this is why I said the site has gone hot. There's a lot of stuff happening, which is going to start tying a lot of things together that we've been talking about, like the books we've been talking about. The Great Controversy. This was written in the 1800s and has been reprinted. When we get into the video we're showing, which is from the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, the World Sovereign Bank Order of Hospitallers, those are the resolutions. All of this is now starting to come together.
Yeah, they've kind of put their stuff out there, and they're now coming out and publicly speaking about things. Keep in mind, y'all, it's in Russian. I'm going to show you how to click a few buttons to translate them on the website, and also listen to be able to translate what they're saying on their YouTube shows. Otherwise, because you're gonna have to read it. It is what it is, or figure out how. I'll show you how to pull the transcript down. It's not always accurate. But if you're looking at the subtitles, you're looking at the transcript, just for what it's worth.
And yeah, some of the words
they don't match up.
No, and you have to listen because there's some of them that are in English, but the accent is so thick that if you'd been reading the resolutions and kind of follow the gist of it, you can realize, oh, it's not suffering, it's sovereign. Suffering is sovereign, and they get
Sovereign, yeah.
super thick, and it's very, very, very Ruski. And so it's a lot. But we'll start right now with today's Ingersoll Lockwood. So scroll up to the top because we're going to show you all a trick. And this I discovered because I wanted to get some information over to our friend who's been helping us. And so I wanted to copy and paste. And when I did, I went, oh, Mother of God. So if you would do the honors, and we're going to highlight the top because we're going to see.
Actually, I just hit on my computer. If you're on a Windows computer, you hit Control A, or on a Mac, you hit Command A. And what that does is it highlights everything on the page.
So you can see everything's highlighted. Oh, and now kids, pay attention because Ingersoll Lockwood has made it clear in their very early posts, like in June of 2021. They're saying, in fact, I will read from the question and answers. For whatever reasons, your research skills are a bit rusty. You gloss over details. You don't dig deep enough. Until then, until you're truly awakened, we will spoon feed you a little. So they used to give you the hyperlinks in red.
Now they're not.
You to read. There's so many people that are like, well, can't you just tell us no? Use what's between your ears. God gave you a gift.
If you're not out searching on your own and you're listening to someone else, like listening to us or anybody else, y'all need to know how to find this stuff, because what happens if we go off in a different direction and you still need this information? What happens if someone else goes in a different direction and you need this information? You need to learn how to do this stuff. So it's interesting. There's a ton. You see all the tabs we have open up top? There's a lot. Okay. We're going to go over a lot tonight, today, whenever you're watching this. That's why I always start with good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever. Hitting Control A. There's, you can see it highlights things. Everything you see is highlighted except for one thing right here. See this?
Now that is important. Now I'm going to preface this because, y'all, when Ingersoll Lockwood does this, they want you to pay that frick attention. Listen. Now the other,
it goes away. Keep going.
And now the other important thing, and I forgot. So first of all, I want to correct some things from the last episode, though it got pulled down. But if you're on X and you're watching, is that the video we played of Ingersoll Lockwood, someone created that video. The actual audio was in June. It was in June of 21 when that was played. You are going to hear these words again. And when they have these hidden hyperlinks, they're asking you to dig deeper. They're telling you, dig deeper. Stop going to, oh, well, we'll just go and listen to so-and-so and he's going to tell us what it's. No. Do you know? I digress. I'm going to for a little bit. That the Ayatollah Khomeini, there's all these other leaders who didn't even know what the Quran said, but yet they're touting it. And people are believing it. Well, so-and-so said. Well, so-and-so said. But they didn't go look for themselves. I don't want any of you listening to us going, oh, well, so-and-so said, because no, we're here, we're sharing, and we're showing you. Because it goes on to say from a previous Ingersoll Lockwood site, which we will take you to, catch me a fish and I eat for a day. Teach me to fish and I eat for a lifetime. So as my compadre has said.
Yep, that's part of. So if I click the right button and not the wrong button, stupid.
All right, so let's go to our first little hidden icon.
If it will load. Nope, it's going to move us off at the page there.
You want to open these, y'all.
Yep.
Open these up on another window.
So this is different.
Oh, this is not.
I opened this. This is different. Last time I clicked that one, it took you to Frank's speech. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Because that was an old site. That was an archive site.
This is the live one now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna open a new tab, like I was supposed to. Are we gonna play this whole thing or no?
It's not that long.
Okay. All right, I'll play it. I gotta blow it up though.
There can be no coexistence.
Probably turn it up a little bit.
Violence. There can be no tolerating it, no accepting it, no excusing it, and no ignoring it. Every time a terrorist murders an innocent person and falsely invokes the name of God, it should be an insult to every person of faith. Terrorists do not worship God. They worship death. If we do not act against this organized terror, then we know what will happen and what will be the end result. Terrorism's devastation of life will continue to spread Peaceful societies will become engulfed by violence, and the futures of many generations will be sadly squandered. If we do not stand in uniform condemnation of this killing, then not only will we be judged by our people, not only will we be judged by history, but we will be judged by God.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger public opinion. This means greater coverage and analysis of international news. For it is no longer far away and foreign, but close at hand and local. It means greater attention to improved understanding of the news, as well as improved transmission. And it means, finally, that government at all levels must meet its obligation to provide you with the fullest possible information outside the narrowest limits of national security. And so it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance, confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be.
How do you get to Wonderland? Over the hill or under land? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I am Ingersoll Lockwood, and I shall be your guide as we travel through time and space. It all began and lasted for 6 weeks during a hot Philadelphia summer in 1787. Freedom for humanity and the beginning of a great awakening. But where there is good, there is always evil. One cannot exist without the other. Let us fast forward to the trigger years, moments ruled by Luciferians. The first of note was April 14th, 1865 at 10:15 p.m. in the Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. In a flicker of time and space, our great awakening was once again halted by the most corrupt and evil of sorts. Fast forward to a moment shortly after noon on November 22nd, 1963, in Dealey Plaza in downtown Dallas, Texas. Welcome to Bushy Knoll. Down the rabbit hole we go. It's 6:05 p.m. on April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. Darkness sets in. A new world order begins to take shape. This timeline fragments into two. A great awakening struggles to live. It is birthed on January 20th, 2017 in Washington, D.C. Yet once again, the Luciferians strike. It's October 18th, 2019. Enter the Great Reset. Event 201. Will they suffocate once and for all humanity's great awakening? The final countdown has begun. I will be traveling forward to explore the possibilities and return to share my findings. 2030 beckons me. While I can offer guidance, only together can the awakened effect the necessary changes to save humanity. My time invested in sharing my knowledge of the timeline with Franklin Patrick Herbert Jr., Steve Samuels, and many other keepers of the flame must not go to waste. It's time. Your time. So much to do, so little time. Time is the fire in which we burn. We're running out of time. The fate of humanity rests in the hands of the awakened. The sleeper must awaken.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exists for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented, and the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefits of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
So what's interesting, Ingersoll Lockwood. Now, look at the address on that.
I was.
Read it for us.
Peace through strength, 45, 17, 47, 10, 20, 24, 7, 15.
Now,
That is really cryptic, and he was the 45th. Q stepped in.
now let's
and then 47, I guess. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, this is where with our friend, our special friend.
Yep.
But if you look at the address on Ingersoll Lockwood, it is 1717. All right. So a lot of
This is on Ingersoll Lockwood.
right, but the
Oh, wait.
Ingersoll Lockwood mailing address goes scroll all the way down to the bottom. All the way down to the bottom. Bottom.
If I can get it there. My mouse isn't working.
Okay, look at that.
Oh. Pennsylvania app. What?
1717 Pennsylvania Avenue
I
Northwest.
never noticed that. Huh.
Okay. Now, their address has changed. So highlight it. See if there's anything. Because now there's an office and reception number. There's a fax number. So take and move your cursor over because we're going to show you all some other things. Move your cursor over the office reception, over those words, because they're not putting the hyperlinks in red anymore. You don't have to highlight it. Just run your cursor over it and see if it turns to a little hand.
They're not there anymore.
Right. But you don't know if there is a hyperlink in any of that. And the address, I don't think so far they've historically never done anything. So what's interesting now, I really want y'all to pay attention to the copyright on there is copyright 2023. Scroll all the way down.
Like you see how this 17 turns into it's not red anymore? Yeah, that's what
But
she's
notice the copyright here. Copyright 2017 through 2030. Go down to the bottom. The copyright is 2023, which is probably for the website.
I was gonna say that changes. You're supposed to add it every year.
Okay, so I didn't know that wasn't there in previous as far as like the office reception stuff. It was just the address, unless I was just that obtuse. Now, so when you go up, for instance, because that wasn't highlighted, they want you to go through and read and study.
And poke around.
So highlight everything again. So now we're
the dot there. That's where we clicked on last time.
So we can scroll down.
I want you guys to see it. So you see right here, I hit Control A or Command A.
Now
dates.
Those hyperlinks are no longer active. However, I did archive the site that did have them.
This is.
That one is. So now you do have a hyperlink with the period after Pride.
Yes.
Now this is important because this is the exactly. They're showing you the Abraham Accords. All right.
Now I don't know who these are though.
I can't remember.
That's Trump's signature though.
Yeah. And we'd have to go back to the videos because those are really odd signatures. However, this is going to tie into the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One.
See how it disappeared, y'all? So everyone sees it. It's disappeared. Yep. So period. There's two periods there.
So one's a link.
So y'all know they're not showing it in red anymore. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is the conspiracy around. If I can get it to load, y'all. If this just stops working, I'm sorry. We are.
Oh yeah, that's that one link. Like, oh, we got you, because it's not in red anymore. So here they were showing it in red. That's after they took the red down. Now, what's important is you see the date to the other side, 11/22/63. That has to do with Kennedy. I saved all the documents. This is a CIA document. This is from a FOIA. Covert Action, Special Nazis, the Vatican, and CIA. This is
Wow.
40 pages. And the print is so small, I have to use a magnifying glass. But it goes into, it talks about interview with Nuremberg lawyer. It goes in about all kinds of, I mean, this is everything about all the foogery with the Vatican, the CIA, the whole shebang. Now, we can, if there's interest, we'll go into other show. We'll start going through the archives, and we're going to show you all these things. And here's where they are. So,
did you see the one? This one?
Not that one. That's
Yeah, I just found it. So,
where was that one?
so CQ, Anon.
Okay,
Yeah, I noticed there was a space there, and hitting Control A or Command A, there's a period, and it
There it
takes
is.
you to here.
okay. I did not see that one, so good catch.
Magapill.com.
Holy buckets!
All right.
There's his
There you go, guy.
accomplishments. So now you're seeing all of his accomplishments, which they didn't want you to know. Now we're going to scroll down some more.
So you can see. So
Thank-
for everyone to see. So I just clicked off. It disappears. There's stuff everywhere.
Think for yourselves. Do your own research. Trust in God. Now, if you click on that, that's a link.
It takes you to, I think, a YouTube, right?
Now, this is important, and I shared this in the Telegram. This,
Matthew West.
yeah, we don't want to play music. We already got in trouble for that.
Yep.
But what's important, Ingersoll Lockwood, that this is a historical pattern litany that goes through also about do something. You do something. It's not for us to give you a solution because you are a sovereign being. You are of the creator of the Most High, and you take in this information and what resonates with you, and you are led on a path to do something with it, then that is your path. It's not for us to tell you. Oh, don't play it.
Yeah, this is what got the
Yeah, that's what got us in trouble.
Evidently, even though it's on YouTube,
Don't play it.
Can't. It's not loading. Anyways, let's close that.
I'll just talk over it. La la la.
Yeah. Right. It'll still pick it up, which is stupid, but whatever.
Oh my gosh! Now
These
the
are,
rabbits.
This is the daggum link. This, I mean, did you click this one?
Which one?
I don't know. Future Proofs Past, Space Force, D-Class.
Okay. This one is really, really good. Where do I have that one? This one?
52 days. I mean, this is still counting down. 52 days, D-Class, Space Force, Future Proofs Past. This is also interesting. Future Proofs Past. This is cute stuff. Majestic
this is
12.
important. Okay, now they're going through this now. The Majestic 12 was originally posted in June of 2021 because I have all the stuff that I archived.
Wow.
Now look at the name, Dr. Vannevar Bush. There's some stuff here. Now this, we're going to scroll through because it's very clear. The following remains confidential. It's copyright 2021. See, Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated, not for redistribution. Now, throughout the sites, Ingersoll is talking to Stephen G. Samuels. Okay. And so I'll read it here for you. You are here. You found us. Read, enjoy, take it as you will within our fair and reasonable legal request and requirements. We own this site. We own all the content and grant no rights. With that said, let Ingersoll Lockwood take you on a whirlwind adventure from 1945 to 2030. Stephen, I assure you, young lad, that what I'm about to show you, only time travelers or those from another galaxy far, far away could command this kind of technology. Take notes, pass them on, and share only when the time is right. To defeat what is coming, look to Germany. Now, I pulled that off from a site, one of their links from the 2021 site. They had, it was loaded with stuff. Look to Germany, to a group called the Nazis. When they arrive on the scene, they will be given too much of this technology too fast and will fail to deploy it properly. They will infiltrate and slow down progress at a new American space agency, but you will have other places to help guide America to exploit this technology until the last president. Now, I'm going to take you guys, when we get done here, we're going to go back into an earlier one and we're going to show you some things. Okay? Then move it all into his Operation Space Force. Remember, this first, it will be the Germans who gain this technology, then we will have it, then you will be faced with the threat from China after the last president, but he will surely know what to do. Only trust him and disclose when he authorizes you to do so, said Ingersoll Lockwood. Towards the end of World War II, the Nazi scientists made a significant breakthrough in new weapons technology, from sound cannons, advanced machine guns, tanks, ion and lightning cannons. Okay, think Hawaii.
Yep.
Rockets, and even anti-gravity devices, including flying saucers. Let me see. Lights over Phoenix. The history you've been taught about Hitler's death, the end of the war, and the finality of the Third Reich is actually not based on facts, but based on propaganda and fiction. This diary takes all the relevant facts, fills in some of the blanks, and leaves it to you to decide what is actually going to happen in 2030. Some of the questions you may ask yourself: did Adolf Hitler have numerous doubles and escape to Base 211 in the Antarctic or Argentina? Does the Nazi Base 211 still exist today? Is it operational? If so, where is it located? And what are they planning? I happen to have the coordinates that Ingersoll Lockwood said, hey, download Google Earth and you will get to see it. Did working anti-gravity flying saucers make it into production? Yes, they did. Where are all the UFOs that seem to be popping up globally coming from Nazis and not from aliens? Well, it's coming from, Antarctica. Or are they test flights of old Nazi technology made operational by the US and the Russians? Well, what are the Nazis waiting for? Are they preparing to attack us, or have they already started to implement their agenda? Bush Sr. After more than 60 years of planning, could Operation Eagle Flight and Iron Eagle be still in play today? Now, there was a lot of things like X-22 went into the Iron Eagle, and Iron Eagle was this, and that was like a commander. It's really referring to Operation Eagle Flight and Operation Iron Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really isn't about a person. And so we're going to get into some of that later.
Yep.
I digress, however. And so in play today, bringing in the Fourth Reich in a new world order. Did President Trump crash the party with the fire and fury begin to restore the great American dream and the republic to the people, which we read in one of the resolutions?
Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to tie all this in. Y'all, you got to stay with us. We're going to start tying in the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, the World Sovereign Bank Order of Hospitallers, the whole financial, the bonds, all of this. Everything is going to start coming together in a beautiful way.
Which is really cool.
It is. And so, blah, 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 blah. We share, read on and decide for yourself. Yes, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. This is like a book.
It is. And this whole thing is amazing. And the fact that they brought this back on again, they want you to dig into this. Read this. It's not for us. Exactly. And they're going into now keep scrolling down, because I have a very special person that is a client. And I showed it to him. I was like, dude, because he's with the FAA and he has a very strong, interesting military background. And so I was like, dude, check this out. He goes, what is that? I was like, you want to know? He's like, absolutely. I was like, here you go. I sent him the site. And as we keep looking at all these, he's like, what the heck? I was like, yeah, this is real. He's like, you're kidding. I was like, no, it's real. I'll send you to some things. In fact, I also printed out a FOIA that came off of Ingersoll Lockwood of this being released. So the whole alien agenda and UFOs that they're trying to scare the little plebes with, and plebes is a word from Greek. Y'all, fear is the little death. Now, he goes into the author of Dune for a reason, because there is going to be a point where we will get to that, where Ingersoll Lockwood apparently had a conversation with him and said, you're going to write this book. You're going to call it Dune, because he met him in the dunes of Oregon. And you're going to have your experience about psilocybin mushrooms. This plane right here, when my client saw it, he goes, Bush Sr. was a test pilot for those. And he's looking, he goes, those are Nazi symbols on there. I was like, oh, imagine that. He's like, you mean to tell me? I mean, he was like, now, y'all, this person is a very military, and he was blown away. When all of this starts coming out, it's going to be unraveling a lot of people.
Yep, it is. So the D class is in 52 days. What's in 52 days? Or is this from this timestamp?
We're going to have to go back and look, because
I don't know. Does it mean
this? I'd have to go back into the archives and look. I want to say that this is the future proving the past posts. Okay. And okay, so yep, they're pulling this from August 11th of 2021. Okay.
File archive, then yes. However,
which took it to September 17th. No, it's not September 17th. It's 52 days from that archive date is what? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get into the weeds there if I'm not careful. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, so that is an archive. The top of that is archived. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's there.
So
that was one. That was this dot here.
Mm-hmm. So that dot is new. As far as okay, so where are you at now?
I'm hitting another period.
Yeah.
There. Justice.gov.
Oh, this is gonna be the Durham report.
Yeah. Okay.
So y'all, you want to print out the Durham report? There you go. It's 300 and some pages long. Ouch! I went and printed out. It's a very interesting read. So there's a lot of these links that have been there for a while. Keep checking them. Like F is still the debt clock, which has changed, you all. The secret window is no longer there. There was, the last image was of Edison and a gold dollar.
Yep.
It's not a bond. It is a dollar.
Yep. It's not. And that's this we were talking about with the hospitalers guys, is that this is I want to say it's happening, but I don't know beyond a shadow of doubt it is.
It is. And we're going to take you to the World Sovereign Bank of Hospitalers, because the golden dollar became effective in October of this year.
Really? I missed that. Where did you see that?
Okay, well, let's finish this one before we squirrel completely off. Okay, so the thing is, now if we look at the rabbit, let's see. Yeah, not Space Bunny, but the one with the armor. Now, this is the armor because we've noticed that there was another Ingersoll image with a bunny and a wolf and sheep behind it, but the bunny was in armor. And this takes us back.
I don't know if this is gonna
get us in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe
so
it will. This is the Chosen season 4 trailer. This is
right.
Teaser.
So y'all, you go look at it. This is from the Chosen. Now, the one thing is that they're getting into, and I'm going to read. This comes off of the Ingersoll Lockwood site, and we'll go back to that one also. But this was in July of 2021, and this was in one of their hidden links. And it had to do because there's no longer a Q&A on their site, but before that there was, and there was a lot of questions and answers. But in the hidden link, that's what I call it, a hidden message. They had above there, are there flying saucers? Question mark. Try from the 1940s, made in Nazi Germany with pride. We just showed you because they're bringing back the Majestic 12 and they're showing you. Okay?
Did you see this?
Yes.
Who's
Jim Brewer. That I haven't quite dug into that one enough yet, but they are showing and selling tickets and something, but there's something with that one. All right.
Something else behind here. See it? Yeah,
there's a little something there. Yeah, see, they're getting really good. Fixing the Earth isn't rocket science. Oh, this is their carbon shield. Okay. And they're talking to us. And this is where in one of their older sites where carbon shield first came up, carbon capture shield. It's about farming practices.
Right.
Okay. And our special friend talks about that when they're tilling and they're opening the earth up is when there's more carbon going into the atmosphere. But when you don't do that, you actually raise the oxygen.
Right.
So I misunderstood, but he's really good at explaining it. Now look at the address. Notice the addresses. The addresses are important.
Q equals 50. So I'll go ahead and put it like this. This right here, anything, this is a tracking thing. So anything after the question mark, if I take that away, it still goes here. It's a tracking device. That goes back to phone home mama kind of thing. But if you put it back, it doesn't change anything. Anything after the question mark is just tracking you. It doesn't change anything about the website except tells somebody somewhere that you hit that site.
Now, what does it say? Because some of these actually say like save our kids, or there's like
This didn't change.
okay, that one didn't change.
I'm familiar with, this is a law firm around homeschooling.
Okay.
I'm familiar with how these operate. I've never seen this one though.
Okay. So, but like in the previous address, look at the addresses because it's like support him. He's really cool. So when you find these, like, is there something on that address? Maybe not.
No.
Okay. All right. So the one I'm going to read to is, do you want to be a powerful, undefeatable patriot? Question all narratives. More homework. Now this ties into the chosen that they just showed you.
Yep.
More homework. Jesus of Nazareth? Question mark. Wrong. Jesus of Bethlehem. What does Nazareth really mean? It's not a place. It's a promise made to the Creator. Jesus, like Moses, like Samson, was a Nazar. So when you hear Jesus of Nazareth, what they really mean to say is Jesus the Nazar. What does this mean? For some, the oath is a lifetime. For others, it's a year. You may not be the Son of God, but you could be a Son of God. Figure this one out. It may lead you to greatness. The fate of humanity rests in the hands of the awakened. The sleeper must awaken. So they're really getting you to start thinking about, and this is just my hypothesis, because with International Treasury Monetary One, Ingersoll Lockwood, and this book, The Great Controversy, which was written in the 1800s, this is all starting to come together saying, hey, we need to really start taking a really, really, really deep look at this.
Right. And if they don't start paying attention to, and that's the thing I want to go ahead and just say out right here is that, you know, as we dig through this, neither of us are coming down on either side of that coin or either side of that fence. It's just, here's the information we're uncovering. It needs to be out in the public, and then pray for wisdom and discernment. That's kind of where my mind goes with it.
Yeah.
This is all like everything's lit up. Our special friend, I wonder if I could run that script and see if it would pull stuff. I mean,
so the 17 does something also. So we're going now. The Majestic 12.
This takes you to the book of Job.
What?
Yeah.
That wasn't there because I just did all this afternoon. Oh my goodness!
I find stuff.
Okay, well that's why I say this site is hot.
Well, I could run the script and hit this and pull every link out of it that's in it.
This is crazy.
You don't have to find it. You just pull it all at once and then it compiles. It's pretty cool, actually.
Okay, so now the other bunny. Now this is important because the other bunny is playing a video about SpaceX. Now there's a computer.
I should be able to play. In theory.
We should be able to play this, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna see what it
There's
does.
no music.
There is music.
So what they're showing here is just the rocket and SpaceX, but we can go through a little bit. But there's a guy with a keyboard, and it says the paranoids survive. So I'm like, this is interesting. And they're showing the whole thing of them building all this. Only the paranoids survive. I was like, why would you focus in on that? There's the Tesla truck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't ever want one.
So they're showing that. And so what is getting ready to launch? And there's speculation after we watched what His Highness had put out from the International Treasury Monetary One. And then as we had the US debt clock, which isn't there anymore, the image of Edison and the gold dollar bill, but the meter on the bottom was showing that it was halfway there. We were halfway to the gold standard. So it was
Right, I saw that. I noticed that as well. Yeah.
Right. It showed the Federal Reserve usury system, usury, and it was going over to gold.
Yep.
Okay. But it also had the Greek for Jesus.
It did. I did see that too, yes.
So the Greek is there. So we're going back to the very beginning, and that's where it's like all of this is showing us way back. That's why we also have links where it was about chasing rabbits. And this, I think it was a rabbi, was talking about, he was just praying. It was like, but this, and it's like Abba had told him, think of it as chasing rabbits. You know, you're just chasing rabbits, and this is it. And so they're going to go back to when things, much like in the book, Anthony Sutton's book, War on Gold, it was Kublai Khan's paper money system. Oppressive Mongolian.
Yeah, they don't even know. Like, that is Kublai Khan. Like, they really mess with things.
So the whole Khazarian. Now, the one thing, if you go to, where are we now?
I clicked Insights.
Insights and Access. Highlight all those. Though they're gone.
Well, hang on. There was another page that we pulled up that had stuff.
Right. Okay, so there might be, hover on, where was the D class at?
The what?
The turning Tesla's dream of free energy into a weapon. Where was that D class one at?
I don't know. This one?
Oh, it might be on that one. Oh, yeah. So that okay. So this is a different website. We're showing you.
So these are links to something. There's also links in. No, there's not.
No, those are just separators.
But have you clicked the shield on the shield above yet? Nope. That's funny.
The critical mistake. Now, and they show, so what also Ingersoll Lockwood is, and some of these, they'll start stacking them down below, because are you going to pay attention? And so some of these were also above. So the critical mistake, humanity is slowly awakening. To remove 17 people, 17, play from the beginning, pick a country, any country except our sleeping giant. Urgent. And then the testing, 1, 2, 3. Project Looking Glass. Now, this is very real. We can go into a lot of this. So pick one, because the Project Looking Glass, they give you the outlooks. It is a very real thing.
This guy?
Yeah.
Interesting. Defending against lockdown 2.0 and food shortages. Interesting.
Okay. And so
better. Wow, this is like legit. Hang on, let's see what is down here. Look at that.
There we go. So
Hang on.
yes.
I want to see through the whole thing. You'll see how they're putting it in white text, and then when you hit Control A, it shows everything. This is actually crazy to me. I mean, I used to hide stuff like this. So
Now, extra credit students. Why would Governor, what is that? Sununu?
whatever.
An alleged Republican issue/sign an edict in April 2020 against the use of hydroxychloroquine. He wasn't the only governor. Walz did it here in Minnesota too. Okay, a lot of governors did. Like so many other governors, mostly D's, and it was to combat COVID, or that thing. When POTUS 45 said it worked, many doctors saved lives with hydroxy, zinc, and Zithropac regimen. It's even posted in NIH Gov as the effectiveness against even more deadly plagues. Follow his travels, his fundraisers, and who is in the Pease Air Force Base corporate park making a vaccine. These people are evil, greedy, and sick. What did your governor do? Who do these people actually work for? Well, actually, somebody dug up, and our wonderful governor is in bed with the CCP.
I believe it.
It's no longer we the people. And
So
all
that
of
was.
this,
Go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, which one? What's that one?
I was looking at this as the Project Looking Glass. That's what came up next.
And so in Project Looking Glass and some of these
This
other
is the page that came up for it.
right, quarantine, and so they actually will plug in and the older sites that I archived. They plugged in some questions, and Looking Glass spit out, what are the odds? And when we can get into the D class of turning Tesla's dream of free energy into a weapon, we're going to show that had things not changed, we wouldn't have made it to 2030.
This one's interesting.
Oh, that one? You're going to get rerouted. Just wait.
Yeah, it's crawling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is y'all should watch. I don't know if it's gonna play music or not, but we'll find out. If it does, I'm gonna mute it. But y'all watch this and read what it says, if this is what I think it is.
And notice we have Alice down the rabbit hole that's doing this one.
JFK Jr. is alive.
Yep, I'm gonna. I don't know what this is.
That's the precursor to the interview that she's going to run.
Is it like at the very end? Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll watch to see if I can find it.
Right there.
So see how at the let's go back here. See at the bottom there, touch your nose if JFK Jr. is alive. And he didn't just
Yeah,
touch
he
his
just
nose.
kind of did something like that when he was being interviewed.
He literally touched. I watched it. It was weird.
Yeah. So we gotta go back to the main page.
This one.
Right.
This is where it gets.
Now, he's too short, but pray do tell. Click on that one.
Pray do tell.
Now read the link.
Content upload 2021.
No, it says pray it is her. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
Okay.
Wrong one. Okay, we can close this one out. I mean, there's other stuff in here, but yeah.
Yeah, there's there's all kinds of
So I know someone. This is gonna pull up another one. You know Vincent, who Fusca is? I don't even know how to say his name. I'm probably doing it very, very, very wrong. Let's see if it actually pulls it here. Hang on. Oh, this is doing that same thing again.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow. If the I know somebody who actually has pictures. I've seen somebody I know was in the room with him. Put it that way. Somebody I think you may know too was in the room with Vincent, and he's not. It's not him. It isn't.
No. So now the testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so there's like a whole bunch of stuff up here. Do you want to 1, 2, 3 this one?
Yeah, let's go to that one because I want to find this other because we're gonna put some other things. Now this. Now see, we have the White Rabbit again, and we have 11:16 on the clock.
Tomorrow. Today.
That's
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay,
And
so 11:16. So now we have
mark there.
Right, but we have
Q-tip.
His Highness Alexander Panov Nikola. Okay, he said something 3 days, which would make it 11:16. We have the gold. All right, halfway. So there's all of this, and if we scroll down, what to feed rabbits? Are you a COVID? I mean, this gets crazy because it also talks about how the Supreme Court ruled for anyone who had, they are now the property of the corporation because they're genetically modified.
Right.
So we have the White Rabbit 11:16,
and then you have a 30-second mark. So I guess halfway through the day. Oh wait, I clicked on it.
Okay, yeah.
It's a link too. Man.
So there's so much here. We're gonna go through and we're kind of just squirreling off. But there's one what?
That's actually gone.
Yeah, it's yeah. That was like
sorry, I
couldn't find it.
Really squirreling off here.
Yeah, so let's go to the globalists. Because you
one?
had the thing with the globalist. What was that? How do you stop a globalist? Bring back your country. Scroll up a little bit. The critical mistake. The critical mistake. And so this one that's when they said the tides may be turning. Okay.
There's more.
And so
this one, yeah, we have this up somewhere else.
We were looking at it, and this is before taken down. DEAGEL.com. Experts at predicting and tracking data in their 2025 U.S. population forecast showed what number? Okay.
And we checked, and it's down. It's not there.
It was taken down. So
unless y'all can find it, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I took a little bit more time, I might can find it.
But so there was something there, and they did take down 2025. We could find 2026, but there's no 2025.
2026 was not for the U.S. though. It was for another country, and it wasn't the population.
So.
And the numbers you see there in 2022 is 333 million. So.
Fascinating stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it talks about the bioweapons and different things. But this is where as many as 124 million. All right. And so.
It's the same thing here, too. This is a different website. Oh, no, it's not. It's okay. This is the one you sent over to me. Okay. So these are literally open them up right next to each other.
Yep.
I was about that. So then there was this one, which we had already covered this one. Then this one.
Now, this is important because in the variant and this Ingersoll Lockwood, and then there's other sites that go into what they put in there. One of them also came from animals and Ingersoll Lockwood in one of these is that they're attacking your blood because your blood is where your life is, your soul is, and they've infected your blood with other animals. You are now no longer pure. So
which is the whole reason why God flooded the earth. Okay.
Now, exactly. Now, this goes in, and Jason Brashears talks about this one where they have to get things at a frequency because they are so terrified of losing their lives. Okay, because God will met out justice. We don't have to do anything.
Nope.
So they're using the frequency of fear, but if they can taint everybody else, they are no longer recognizable to God because now they have tainted their blood. They have tainted their blood with other animal blood. There's horse aids in there. There's monkey. There's all kinds of stuff. If you scroll down in this one, I think that it shows all the variants that are in it. Yeah.
Let me blow it up a little bit. There you go.
Swine flu, H1N1, measles, mumps, etc. has mainstream. No, this isn't it. It's in one of their older ones. How many can they test for? But they actually have other animal. And it has to, oh, I know where it is. It's in one of these other ones. It talks about their souls and.
Hang on. Let's see. This is testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. This one.
I think if we clicked on it, isn't that what took it to another site?
No. It took us to here. There was a picture there that pulled up.
Uh-huh.
Was this it?
There's talks about fear and panic. They need the fear and the panic.
Hang on, let's get down here. Okay, so here's the end where they give their note. We'll go back up in a second. So we already read this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one you wanted to look through or no?
No. And here we have like black rock being held over your head. There's a lot of things in here. Like there's the V in Vanguard. There's the R in BlackRock. So they put links embedded in these.
Everything.
They want you to read.
And they've read it and they've planted in there for you. This is about Vanguard own. Look at the link. Vanguard own Big Pharma. Yep.
Vanguard own Big Pharma Media. Remember, because we had Mockingbird Media
and Big Media.
Mm-hmm. Are the two top owners, and this tells you everything of how it's all, how we got the Mockingbird Media. And I think it's in a link. We'll have to save it for next time because when I found it, I was like, that's in the email I'd sent you with, oh my gosh, this one is like, wow.
It's in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I opened it up.
Oh, this is creepy.
The devil made Fauci do
it. Now, the blood bonus.
Sorry, Wayback Machine doesn't have this video.
There are 3 videos in there. There's the picture of all of our conspirators. Okay. And then there's questions. Who founded Planned Parenthood? There's a number question. Why did Women's Lib movement get funded by David Rockefeller? What young FBI agent seized Prescott Bush Bank assets and why? Why is gender confusion so popular? Everything big is part of eugenics. Your life is their target. Now, there is all this wonderful white space that was below it, and this goes into your homework. Did you click on the White Rabbit Punisher animation? What are prions? Prions are deformed protein molecules that will attack your brain. It's also in mad cow's disease. We're seeing more prions now because of processed foods that are, I should say, livestock that have been fed roadkill, because I did a research paper on this back in like 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were grinding up roadkill and feeding it to the feedlot animals.
I think this is what you may have been looking for before. As it turns out, the mad cow disease was created when humans did an ungodly thing: grind up sheep animal parts and mix into the feed to save money and try to make the cows bigger and fatter at a lower cost. The results of violating God's rules of nature, herbivores will always be herbivores? Question mark. Prions appeared out of nowhere. They are not alive, cannot be killed, are transferred to those who eat the meat of mad cows, and both animal and cow have human and the human end up with this brain-eating disorder. No heat, cold, laser, microwave, drug, etc. can kill the prion. Ugh. As it eats away your brain, it is unstoppable in the physical on the physical realm. The only way to stop this disease was to stop feeding animals parts to cows. Ugh.
They were also feeding it to chickens, but most of the roadkill and dead animals they were picking up, they were feeding to the feedlot cattle. Exodus 4, the new NIV is the new international version.
Mm-hmm.
Moses answered, "What if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, 'The Lord did not appear to you'?" Then the Lord said, "Put your hand inside your cloak." So Moses put his hand inside his cloak, and when he took it out, it was leprous, like snow. The Torah describes Miriam and Aaron as being rebuked by God for criticizing Moses on account of his Cushite wife, after which Miriam was punished for a week with, I can't pronounce it, but it's leprosy. It's in Numbers 12. Why did Aaron not get leprosy? The answer is almost certainly that it was accepted by Israelites as well as Judites that Aaron had been a high priest, so he could not have been afflicted with any sort of disease or deformity because that would have made him ineligible for office. So leprosy is a physical manifestation of a spiritual problem. Prions are leprosy in disguise. Those doing evil upon us now, they know exactly what they are doing. Even if you are an unknowing victim, you've accepted the evil injection. You've tainted your blood, and you are at serious spiritual risk. The playing field is above our pay grades. Time to get out our Bibles and do something serious, spiritual awakening, do some serious spiritual awakening and praying to the Father. And there's a link there. So you can click it. Oh, I wonder if it's going to take us to a YouTube. Who plays music? So they're going through, and it's going to. Oh, this goes through the Passion presentations, and it's all Christian music. So don't hit it. You're going to get music.
Wow. And
so
disappears.
They're saying, they're saying this is above our pay grade. This is above all our pay grade. Now, if you click on that image, which can't see.
This one?
Right there. If it'll let you.
It might.
Funny thing, there's your prion disease.
Yellow card advised event database. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is why you don't do this stuff. I mean, this is why there are certain vaccines, like they put dead monkey testicles and all kinds of stuff, and it's just like they're dead. It destroys you. This is like all vaccines. This isn't just this other one. It's all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is really bad. So now here we have another link. The Great Awakening versus the Great Reset. And there is stuff in here that, as they said, and there's images, which we can't see, but there was a silver coin that was released by the Mint with bats on it. So this was, cognitive programming.
No doubt. It always is.
And they were getting ready for all of this. And yeah, the images didn't come through for you.
No, they did not. And there's no white space stuff here.
No.
That I see. Nothing good stuff, but it's coming though. At a future predicting technology?
They do. That's Looking Glass. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so we see. All right, so here we go. Imagine you had a future predicting technology. You plug in various facts and variables, and this Looking Glass shows you a future outcome by using fractal math big data lakes of historical facts and figures, current events, and so much more in a super quantum computer. You give this looking glass the AI predictive intelligence, fine-tune in on future outcomes based on global events and activities. Imagine this was the outcome. Input to looking glass. Pinpoint timeline between two possible outcomes. Humanity wins in a great awakening, godliness and universal secrets unlocked. Humanity loses to transhumanism and Luciferian globalism in a great reset, aka hell on earth. Okay, and there's links to that, and it starts going through some really kind of gross stuff. And you have looking glass output, moment in timeline, October 18th, 2019. That's a trigger. Well, that's when they did. All right, so we have all this, and those are links that you can go and read. Current status, probability of the Great Reset defeating and totally controlling humanity by 2030 is currently at 50%.
Wow.
Now, this was an older link, and it was from July 28th of 2021.
Right.
Input to looking glass. Something huge has just happened behind the scenes, so pray harder. Keep spreading truth. It's working. How to redirect humanity to exit the Great Reset path and return to the Great Awakening. So the output, eugenics programs exposed. All right. Which now more and more are talking about. They're actually calling it, the scam getting planned on, the things like that.
Yep.
Alternative media becomes mainstream, reaching millions per day.
Which
and then
is
there's
happening.
just ordinary folks like us doing stuff like this.
Yep.
And the Health Defender, which is still out there. Some of the stuff, though, our special friend, and we're trying to find some of this. If faith, prayer, and God variables factored in at exponential rate, the Great Awakening reclaims humanity by 4/10/24. Now, this is important because we keep seeing 4/10/20, and now you had that other one, 4/10/20 and 24. It's reclaiming this 24/7, and we have 7/15. Now, there's so many ways that those numbers could go. Timing of globalist deaths, arrests, and other key factors already entered into the equation. And output, nothing can stop what is coming. So
That's
4/10/2024. So we have 4/10/20. Okay. 4/10/24. And so 20 and 24, and people are like, oh, it's done a lot. Well, it could be, but we had 4 years to turn the ship around.
Right. And it's what it looks like it's going to be. We'll see. April 10th.
Mm-hmm.
April 1st is technically the new year. Wouldn't that be fun if the whole world figured that out? That April's Fool's Day, as they call it, was the new year.
The joke is on you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, this is, there's all kinds, look at that. There's hidden links on this one too. Now this goes into the audits. Okay. But there's also 3 periods after quantum encryption, which that was a link. But I really want to find this D class, Turning Tesla's Dream of, I can't remember where that is.
Have you clicked the shield above yet? Okay, so yeah,
The image isn't showing up for you. It was before.
This is okay. So we.
Oh, you have to go to. I know where it is now. It's on Insights. Up in the thing. I know it's there. You go.
Oh,
you got to go back to the older one. The Insights.
Let's see if I can find it.
Right up there.
This guy. No. I
Insights
know.
In the library.
I know. I didn't go on the same page though. I think. Yep, there it is. So, Insight. Because we want the same date.
Oh, it might still be there. Scroll down.
Wow, there's a lot here, y'all.
Oh yeah. So what we're looking for is under HARP. So before we go to any links, so read what they have on their insights. This is important because we have to look on their insights and access, and it tells you what their expertise is. how they developed their framework. Ingersoll Lockwood's focus is on these 10 key areas with a 200 plus year business plan, which started in 1891. So they're telling you when this all started and what they're moving forward.
In other words, he's a time traveler.
He really is. And we'll go into the library page after this. So we have, how far does the rabbit hole go? Try these, build back better, COVID, blah, blah, blah. Cotton swab stuck way up your nose. And now, and that link, it shows you that when they were doing that, it gets into the blood-brain barrier. And that was an Egyptian torture.
Wow.
Remember children coming back and crying because they had bloody noses because they were just, it was gross. It was gross. And how did this happen to them? Meaning all of them were actually, so all the tests were kind of messed up because they were already contaminated.
Yep.
So, but speaking of HAARP, click on the little dot. Now, this one is important. And then we'll come back and we'll go through, because my favorite one is the education, unwinding stupidity training. I think it's great. Now, everyone's saying, oh, it's going to be the end of the world. And I kept thinking, why are we praying? You know, Marianne Van, pray the rosary. As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, a world without end. God is not going to destroy his creation. And the one thing that really got me going with this is I'm reading in this right here, because Ingersoll Lockwood is really kind of showing you that, no, Jesus took the oath of a Nazar. All right. If I'm saying that right. Nazar, yeah.
Really close to something it shouldn't.
Yeah, okay. So, but it took this oath, and we're like, wait a minute, all this has gotten all wound into all this insanity and craziness. And then as the great controversy goes over, this whole idea of purgatory and how that actually came from some pagan stuff and fires. But as we scroll down, I'll just read here, we're as conservative as they come, we're patriotic as they come. Our funding of carbon capture shield is most likely the opposite of what you think it is. It's sad. So many of you are this close to being completely outside of the matrix, and yet you miss it because of fossil fuel brainwashing. Yes, big cars, big boats, big planes, and so much more fun, fun, fun. However, climate crisis is real, but it's not what you think it is. Forget about the Green New Deal and dumbed down socialist puppets like Greta and AOC. Consider them way below your pay grade. Forget about how globalists are creating carbon treaties and carbon tax as a new way to control you and steal what little wealth you have left, laboring day after day in your minute Mobius strip of time. Imagine you were traveling back in time from a future date and were trying to explain the real reality to folks who have so many misconceptions. It was like talking to your 2-year-old to explain why sticking a metal fork in the 110 volt outlet is not a smart move. Because of Monsanto, by 2030, all the bees on planet Earth are gone. Organic and natural farming is over. If you think Bill Gates' pink slime burgers are a fad, they will be your future staple if you survive, and if you don't wake up and make some changes immediately. Thus, that was my whole comment, was like, get your shit straight. But I digress.
Yeah.
Let me get you back from 2007 to 2010. Here are some documents you should look at. Now, this is important because I had a client, the Illuminati were scouting her, and she gave me this map that they gave her of the U.S. She goes, yeah, well, if they get to have their way, we're going to have lakeshore property. I looked at it. I went, what the pluck? She goes, we're sitting on a one ginormous fault line, and all they have to do is shake the snow globe. Y'all, earthquake technology. Everybody's like, oh, the earthquakes. Read the flippin' documents. They're right here. We have GovDocs Publications New Madrid Seismic Zone Earthquake PDF. I printed it off. We have another GovInfo document, which goes into the different things about whose fault is it anyway. And they're arguing over this big fault line area, and they actually did some stuff for the farmers of what would happen, because it would just, boom, go to the heartland. All right.
Yep,
Central.
right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
The whole country.
Gone. Water.
Yep.
And then the FEMA fact sheets. earthquaker, they're calling it. I mean, it's like, is the new
Do
Madrid
you
fault earth?
you want me to open them up or no?
No, they're big documents.
Okay.
Is the new Madrid fault earthquake zone coming to life? Well, yeah, because they have the technology to shake it.
It's not hard.
No. So y'all can look that up. Now, let me tell you a story about high frequency active aural resonance research program, which I think we've gone through the book, Angels Don't Play This Harp. Now,
Yep, we mentioned it. Yes.
where'd we go here?
Oh, you need me to go back?
I
I'm
was
sorry.
going to read it here.
Here you go.
Okay. This is one of the U.S. government's most powerful
Oh, you
weapons.
were reading it.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
It can be used to control the weather. Nikola Tesla invented it as a means of transporting energy from one point on the Earth to another point far away using what he called ether. In reality, this microwave array aims potentially millions of watts of high energy microwaves at the upper atmosphere, which causes a rubber band like effect in the ionosphere, where billions of watts of high energy snap back down towards the Earth at an equal and opposite angle. If you wish to boil water underground and cause an earthquake, you need to test HARP through triangulation by aiming at 3 equidistant points. Then you are ready to aim dead center at your target. Some of the effects of this level of radiation are. Now, this is important because everyone thinks, oh my God, we're all going to burn. No, God's not going to do that. Okay. He created this beautiful place for us. Do you think he's going to let it go poof?
I mean, when the end times is supposedly, well, anyways, go ahead.
I'm kind of thinking Ingersoll Locke was trying to do some of the unwinding. This is just my hypothesis, is now I'm putting all this together with the great controversy, with all of it. I don't know. I'm holding it lightly too, because I'm kind of like, I'm with y'all. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It is. We all have to unwind it for ourselves.
Sure.
That's where I'm going to leave it. So what it does is it weakens the ionosphere. The creator, after much prayer, will cause a solar flash to encompass the Earth, recharging the ionosphere, because without it, we are all toast from gamma rays and X-rays. Check the historic news cycle on this, and you'll see that right now, the future proves the past. And they have been boiling the ionosphere. Now, we have that. People are talking about the oh God, what do they call it? Brashears calls it the vapor canopy coming back. So,
oh yeah,
all right. And so the vapor canopy is because God's going to go, ruh-roh, you guys kind of really,
yeah.
And we're going to fix this. We're like, oh shit, we did something wrong.
Yep.
Sorry, help us. Oh my God, we're never going to do it again. Okay. So, glowing clouds in the sky like these when HARP was used to attack China's underground nuclear facility. I watched this video. It is trippy as get out. It's like, what the pluck?
I'm going to pull it up real quick. Keep going.
And
Just
citizens
want to see what it
in
looks
China.
like.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird. It's going to take a little while to crawl it.
I shouldn't do that with the YouTube, though.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Stop playing. Stupid thing. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's some Japanese. They're at a party and there's something going on. But the skies started doing this really weird thing. And they're like, what is this? And it would just keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And they were looking at it like, what is going on? And so that's what that is. And we can.
That's crazy.
So that's HARP in action. Okay. And citizens in China noticed water flowing uphill during this beautiful array of wonderful colors in the sky. Birds falling out of the sky, cooked from the inside out. Fish floating in rivers, cooked from the inside out. Think about all those hurricanes. Like, oh, this is weird. High pressure zones can be used to steer hurricanes, create hurricanes, and dissipate hurricanes, tornadoes, and storms, and so much more. Oh, you don't think now this is crazier, because in 1966, the UN actually said you do not get to use weather as a weapon against the people. Well,
yeah, why would they have to say that?
Well, tell Raytheon that.
Right.
Because now Sabrina Wallace over on Odyssey, it's at Synergy.
Odyssey, yeah.
Odyssey, okay. It's just been like going off. Like, you guys, this is real. This is real.
I have no doubt. I mean, I've watched them. What do you think they're doing with the stupid chemtrails, a cloud seeding or whatever they're
Oh
calling
my
it.
gosh. Yeah.
I've seen satellite footages of off the coast of Africa, where you can see a cloud grid, like a checkered, like
Mhm.
grid.
Mhm.
It's like, and then you just superheat that with these things, and guess what? You point a laser in it, superheat the ocean, or the heartbeats here. Could do. I guess it could do that.
What do you think they did to Lahaina?
Was it HARP, or do you think it was the planes, or a satellite? If we're even
If
in
they-
space.
Maybe it was all the above. We got to see which one works. Hey, let's try this on the little plebes. It was like, really, you guys are just dicks.
Yep.
But anyway, I digress. That was, calm down, Sharon.
You're
All right.
You're
okay. So now here's our homework. And I say your homework. Why was Hillary Clinton invited to join the board of Monsanto? Why did Barack Obama, aka Barry Soetoro, the Kenyan Muslim illegal Manchurian President Soros puppet,
I love that.
I love that, pass HR 933, the Monsanto Protection Act? Okay, how many people are actually aware of the Monsanto Protection Act? I'm sitting here going,
I don't know.
what?
I had heard about it because when Monsanto wanted to buy Bayer and all this other stuff. Anyways.
Yeah, I remember something about that, but I was like, what? And so I was like, oh my gosh, digging into that one. And this is what Ingersoll Lockwood is really asking and inviting everyone to do. Start digging. Only you can do this. And y'all, I am not going to be posting and doing your homework for you. Well, I don't want to read. Too bad. I've got life coaching. I got clients coming in that I need to help, and then I guide them. And there's like, I don't get this. Okay, so where do you want to start? I just something really simple. Okay, what's simple? I don't know. Okay, just tell me so I can point you in a direction. But y'all, we're giving it to you. You'll find it. You'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Why did FEMA and 3 states triangulate pre-plan for 7 million MREs to be delivered to farmers and citizens in the New Madrid fault zone for an upcoming exercise of a massive flooding in this area? Okay, like I said, I got the map. I was like, I looked at my client. I was like, oh my God. She goes, oh yeah, they're going to open up. They're going to flood the borders because they want everybody. She goes, we're not going to have colored people. Everybody's going to be kind of pink. I was like, what? Oh, she's like, yeah, there's, she's really funny. I was like, you're kidding. She goes, oh no, wait until and this was, oh my gosh, 12 years ago. She said, wait till they open up the borders. I was like, what? Yeah. So this is how planned this is. Now, when we take you guys over to the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One site, it's pure fire. It's pure fire. Pure fire. All right. So I'm going to go.
Okay.
Let's see. What happened to all the farmers and their land? Who bought it? What kind of crops are there now? And who owns them? That's a big one. What Air Force general ordered the HARP strike on U.S. soil? Treason for greed. And where is his bank account? Who filled it and why? How deep is the swamp? If this is only one example at the lengths at which these sick people will go, now do you understand? Patriots, what are we up against in 2021? For each area in our 200 plus year plan, we already know the outcome if there is no dramatic change to the timeline, but it still requires one variable, your free will to help make it happen, because that's the gift that God gave us.
That's a huge thing. If we don't step up to the plate or do this type of stuff or get the information out, I mean, it's all over the places when it's happening. I mean, look at, I don't know if anyone of you guys are on TikTok or anything, but if you train the algorithms, it's not a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of very, very important information, not far off from this.
No. So there are a certain number of totally awake patriots. We need to make everything we do are doing go viral, or the future will be one in which population will be at 500 million or less, with no more than the Georgia Guidestones disclose, in a Soylent Green dystopian world operated by elite Luciferian merged with AI, completely soulless, a bleak future ahead. Read our 10 goals. Yeah, they're gone. So at least that kind of tells us, like, we're done. reread our 10 goals, look at what we've begun funding, and think how you might be able to help. It's time to take a metal fork out of the socket. Your baby hair is standing straight up. Enough juice for now.
I actually read that on one of my shows a while ago because I was looking into the Guidestone stuff. I think I did a show. I read that before. Anyways, continue.
Reconsider carbon capture shield. And from a new perspective, we love carbon too. We must end Monsanto and save the bees. Otherwise, the planet's food supply will be completely synthetic. I have got clients coming in right now. Their guts, I mean, it's like, they're like, we don't know what to eat. I said, a good place to start. Okay, so how about you go to CSA? What's that? That's a crop sharing program. This crop sharing association. So you got all these gardeners and farmers, and they give you boxes of their produce. Go to Farm Direct. Start looking at this. Right now in Minnesota, they're actually going after the farmers markets.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, they're
Out there. It's stupid.
It's nuts. It's like, and so people are connecting. They're like, nope. And so they're finding ways. Support your local farmers. Everything you can do. And that's what it says. Do your part to save the bees. Consider it life and death for humanity. This is absolutely a message from one future timeline you do not want to live to see. So change it. Now, one of the things, this is simple for bees. Look at the flowers you can plant just around your house and have a bee garden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have to be a beekeeper, but you can help the pollinators. You could
I have a stupid yellow jacket's nest over by where my camper sits right now. Just like, yellow jackets
they're mean.
They're not
pollinators.
Not pollinators.
No.
I think they kill the pollinators, don't they?
There's some that do.
As soon as it gets really cold, I'm gonna take care of them because they'll be so lethargic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so in the immediate future, look to Ohio, support Q+. No, look to Ohio. I think that was Jim Jordan, wasn't it?
Maybe, or literally Ohio. Have you been out to Ohio? It's amazing.
Drove through it.
I've been out hunting in it. I've been up in the Rockies on a horseback. It was amazing. If I could go back, I would. It was one of those once in a lifetime. Think about an all-inclusive hunting trip where
really
you go down. Yeah, they feed you. You have everything.
What do you hunt for?
Elk, moose.
No way.
Mule deer. Yeah.
Oh no, I'd go hunting for muleys any day.
Yep, that's what I brought home.
Muley?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Okay, we digress. We squirreled.
Yes, a little bit. I love.
You guys are getting you're getting the real deal here with us. Okay, so let's see. He never quite. He never quite. He works tirelessly every day. He's still your POTUS, and the best is yet to come. These people are stupid. Luckily, the NSA and the Mill Intel are on your side. We will disclose more when you are ready. Now,
I go ahead.
The image, scroll down so you can see more of the image. Now, this is really important because there's things in this image.
Firearm.
Right, but you have a looking glass, a spyglass, looking glass type thing. You have a phonograph. You have a phone. You have a ring.
Maybe.
You have a time. Right. You've got it's sitting on a map, a very old map, and it's to look at the old maps because they showed you maps of Antarctica where it shows a freshwater lake. It shows you in that stuff. And we have an hourglass. Okay. Behind that is an astrolab, which all timelines. There's different things. It's different calendars. Okay. Now we have these two different types of compasses, watches on a journal.
That's a pocket watch. That's a pocket watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pocket watch.
That is a form of a compass.
Maybe.
There's a timekeeping device with a date, and there's other things inside of it.
Okay.
So there's different timekeeping pieces.
Okay.
So
what's this bird-looking thing back here? There's an eye and looks like a mouth.
Actually, it's like a lotus flower opening, and that's an incense burner. It looks like an old school incense burner.
No, this right here. Yes, I'm talking about the picture behind it.
Oh, the picture behind it. That's a map. Because it looks like a nautical thing behind there. Yeah.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
It's interesting. So, and I don't think there's any other messages in there.
That looks like the seal
What seal?
for the hospitalers. There's a old phone right here.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah.
So we have all that. And so it's just like trusting that it's all, and there's all kinds of other links in there. Yeah. And there's that countdown. Now there's white space in there. So, yep. TikTok. Shall we play a game? Nothing can stop what is coming. So help save our country. Share. Yeah. Share to Gab. So it's interesting. So they're kind of helping you like go over to Gab. It's really fascinating. So before we hit our crazy mark and we'll turn into pumpkins here, let's get over to, so we can show them how to listen
Oh,
to.
yeah. We need to do that. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
for sure.
Otherwise we'll turn into pumpkins.
Yes. So we will drop, or Sharon, you have this link. I guess I do too now. I'll let you drop it in there so
Yeah.
that you can add the different ones that we kind of went over if you wanted
Mhm.
to. So this was posted 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, 2 days ago, because he talks about 11/16. He said 3 days, and there won't be any
Views
ashes.
premiered on here.
Mhm.
So I've got closed captions. So when you come to this, let me actually just mute this for a second and play it right here. When you come through here, you got to go over to closed captioning here. Okay. You have to turn it on. You have to set it for, hit the gear, closed captioning, set it to Russian so you can see what it's saying. Okay. The reason this is important is because you're not going to be able to read what they're actually saying here right now. So I'm going to pull it up.
So they're speaking Russian.
Right. So we'll pause it there for y'all to understand that. And I also want you to download or add the Google Translate to your browser, because all of these comments are in Russian. So if you translate this page, it will translate the whole page. It'll tell you what the title of everything is. I already did this a minute ago. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. There it goes. Supposedly. So it didn't do the title, but it will continue to do it. The some of them, it looks like, not all of them. Okay. So that's two things you really need to be aware of and know how to do that for this. Reason being is y'all need to listen to this video. I'm not all the way through it, but he is like hellfire kind of thing over it. Another thing you could do. Where did I do? Okay. So I expanded this area underneath here where they, shows information about them. Shows transcript. This is the translation of what is said in the video and their timing and all that fun stuff. So you can copy and paste this somewhere and read it if you wanted to. So that way you're not necessarily reading while stuff's going on the screen. I do that sometimes depending on what's going on. But I highly suggest that you do that so that way you can come through and pay attention to him talking through what's going on. He's not playing around with different things. He's actually calling them out for what they've done.
Oh yeah, when he calls them bio robots and shaitan, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Jews in Muslim clothing. Yeah. This is the guy who is part of, or the head of, or the whatever you want to call it, for the International Monetary One stuff that we've shown you guys in the past couple of videos. Now he's calling out basically all the world leaders, all the bank leaders, everyone around is like, you have what did you say earlier?
biorobots?
No,
Or-
no, no. They have 3 days to something.
They have 3 days and to basically stop what they're doing to Bright Humanity. And they've cut off everything. And so when people are talking, it's like, oh, the financial markets, oh, this. And he says it in this video that the media, and he shows that they are all the Khazarian, all of them are following this because they've got to keep you scared. They need, oh my God, the money. Oh my God, the money. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, And he actually says that all the bonds created are because they created them on you. And I don't think it maybe in this one, but it's definitely in another one where the gentleman's accent is so thick that the translator doesn't do it very well. So you have to kind of go between what you're hearing and reading.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes into and how it started in 1366. And you got Ingersoll Lockwood now going, okay, when they asked you, no, it's Jesus of Bethlehem. Do you know what that means to take that oath? And so how he didn't defend himself, how he didn't do all this. What is that all about? And they're starting to unwind all of this for everybody. And
Just
they're
by
calling
asking
out
questions for people to go look into it. They're not trying to tell you what it is. They're trying to
Nope.
say, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about
Mhm.
that? It's just like, just go look into it. And then as people look into it, they'll recognize what it, I mean, I haven't yet, and I'm going to. Just like, what does this mean? You know?
I had no idea until I'm reading that. And I was like, what? And
Yeah.
then I went and looked it up, went, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've been, I'm sorry, ever since I was short. And they're like, oh, Jesus and Etherus, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yep.
Yep.
And I'm right along with y'all. I was like, whoa, seriously? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this is all lining up. The truth will line up. Lies won't.
Yeah. Just we just got to look into it and see what's there and all that fun stuff. But yeah, we'll post that video for y'all to look into. Go and listen to it if you want to read it. I just showed you how to get the actual transcript. Pull that down, read through it if you want to. Just a little bit that I kind of glanced through, poked around for just the short period of time I had to look at it. It's pretty intense. So we're going to go ahead and cut it there, I think. I need to keep the video somewhat shorter than 2 hours. I can actually run it.
So we don't get in trouble.
And then those of you guys who have been watching these, really do appreciate it. And we are going to continue. I think it makes a lot of sense to do so. Our special friend and Sharon here, they've been digging through stuff and bringing all kinds of fun things to light, and it's been fascinating to me to pair up with you guys. It's been great to actually be able to do that. It's not, I've done this stuff for years and years and years, but to have other people doing it and looking at it, different sets of eyes, looking at, pointing out, oh, I didn't think about that. It's really, really helpful. So
one quick
Thank
thing
you.
before we wrap it up so people can see it. Get us over to the World Sovereign Bank Order Hospitallers because I'm going to show them where it passed.
Hang on.
That the U.S. golden dollar, because that's going to line up with the last image that was on the U.S. debt clock with Edison and showing the gold-backed dollar, not a bond.
All right. This guy. Okay. Where to?
Let's go right to the main page, not the documents, right to the main page.
Banking. You can sign up now, can't you?
Yes, you can.
How?
Now scroll down. Now look at the dates on there. One golden Soviet ruble adopted on, April of 2023. The golden dollar. What is that? I can't read that. And then it was the golden, there it is. It's the golden European. That's the golden European one, which was the 4th of October, 2023. So all three now are on there. So ours in Russia was in April. Europe was just in October. So I had it incorrect. So I apologize. So it was
that
Europe.
Probably had to do with Elizabeth.
Because she
blocking it.
Well, she's no longer with us, and she's the one that signed off on that certificate that kicked this whole thing off because she was the head of the Committee of 300.
Yep.
Now, we'll talk more about the Committee of 300, the Club of Rome, and then all the things that trickle down from that. However, we need to cut this off so that we don't end up.
Yeah, right. It's gonna laugh at us.
But just know that yes, the gold standard is darn near in place.
It's gonna be interesting over the next couple of weeks. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon, as
Thank
always.
you.
And I will be right back. Y'all have an amazing rest of the day, and we will talk to you later.
All right.
Take it easy.
Bye.